What's up, y'all? I'm trying to see if I'm trying to get comfortable. Um, so I don't just really expect too many people to be in here because this is very spur of the moment. I saw some news about Jamie and Elizabeth earlier, and I was just surprised at my own reaction. Um, just going based off of how I felt about them during their season, I was shocked by my own reaction. So I want to see what y'all are thinking. Hey, Kimberly. So I'm going to let some of y'all come in and we will talk about what I have discovered. I mean, I'm sure pretty much everybody coming in here probably already knows what I'm about to say, but let's just keep the suspense going. Hey, Favia. Hey, Dee Dee. So, yes, come in, have a seat, make sure you leave a like, and we're going to discuss Jamie and Beth. And maybe y'all could tell me some updates of what's going on with the couples, because I promise y'all, I just don't know what's going on. Anything could be happening, anything could have happened. The only thing that I'm aware of is um, that Amber met up with, what's that guy's name? He was from another Will from another season, the one that was married to Jasmine. They met up and did some sort of ceramics. I don't know if it was a date. I don't know if they were just being friends. I don't know what that was. But that's pretty much all I know. So maybe y'all could update me, because I'm not the expert in here right now. But yeah. Oh, and by the way, I'm having a sale on La Vida Rosa Style where you can find earrings like the ones I'm wearing now. These are cute little scissor earrings. And I'm having a sale, so if you use the code BLACK, you can get 20% off of any of your orders as long as it's $25 or more. So yeah. Um And so I do follow, now I don't follow anybody on my regular page, but I have my Finsta page, and I follow pretty much everybody on my Finsta. I do know that Dee and Greg are still going strong, and they actually have like a t-shirt line or something like that. So I was so happy to see that they are still actually, they're still going strong, that they still seem to have a really solid bond. And I wanted the best for them in the first place. So okay. And Iris and Keith, they doing a single thing. Actually, I think it's Iris's birthday today, so happy birthday, Iris. um she's gorgeous, by the way. She just, every time I look at her page, it's like she really she really could be a model. She's definitely built like a model. And I think Keith is like doing meet and greets or appearances, things like that. I've been seeing that he's been doing like lives. I've never caught one of his lives, but he seems to be getting into the whole into his influencer bag. Looking good as always. Yeah, Iris is gorgeous. Have you noticed Iris does IG lives? I didn't even know she did IG lives. I've never caught one of her lives, so um I didn't know that. But who else was on that season? Amber, she doesn't seem to really post a whole lot on social media, so I haven't been able to. Oh, thank you. I thought you were talking about Iris. Thank you. I feel like I'm looking a mess, but thank you. I'll take the compliment. Um Amber doesn't seem to post a whole lot. Amber strikes me as the type that really did do this because she truly wanted to find love. Because when you see her, she doesn't really do a whole lot of social media. She doesn't really, do the whole selfie thing. And she literally, she didn't seem like she wanted any sort of fame from it. And for her to be matched up with Matt, who seems to, he doesn't even post as much as I thought he might have. But he does post. It seems like he wanted more so the fame than anybody. But Iris Iris seems like she was into it for the love, but she's taking advantage of whatever notoriety, or you know what I'm saying, she's riding the wave, and I'm proud of her for that, because what's the point of being on TV if you can't take a little bit of advantage of that, if you can't get a little change on the side from it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at her for that at all. Get your money. And Keith is definitely doing that. I'm still on the fence of whether I think Keith actually did this because he wanted to find love, or did he want to be on TV. I don't know yet. I still don't know. I still don't know. I called her last live and asked her if she told Keith or the experts she wanted more romance, and she said she didn't, and in retrospect should have said something. Yes. I think I saw, the one thing Iris does do is Q&As, and I've seen a couple of her Q&As, and she actually has mentioned that before, that she wished she would have, you know, spoken up about their whole romantic thing. She mentioned it in the article that she did, that, you know, he wasn't really romantic. He didn't really, you know, woo her the way she felt she needed. And I feel like for him to be her husband, if that's what she needed him to do, then he should have been doing it. But how can he do it unless you tell him? So it was just like, you know. Oh yeah, I saw the Q&A. I've been seeing her Q&As. So yeah, I've seen a lot of things. One thing that shocked me about one of her Q&As is that she was like, someone asked her, is there anything about Keith that you would, like any aspect of Keith that you would want in a future husband, like any of his positive attributes? And she said basically that she wanted someone that had a love for children the way he does, and you know, wants to serve kids, and that's it. like like he didn't have nothing else, nothing else that she wanted a man. I was like, ooh, that's a little harsh. Cause I'm like, okay, Keith really don't have nothing else you would want. It just begs the question of like, what was really going on behind the scenes? Like, maybe she felt like everything he was doing was an act, and because I feel if he was genuinely doing a lot of those things, he would have at least tried past the 8 weeks. And that's what she said. Her father said that he felt that he should have tried beyond the 8 weeks. And I agree. If you truly here, you know, to be married, and at least give it beyond 8 weeks. Let's at least try 6 months. Come on, come on. Unless the person is just straight up don't want to be with you, like Matt. You know, that whole, I mean, obviously, why would you stick around for that? But I do remember her saying that, but I guess she's just hurt by Keith. I think she is still in like a hurt place when it comes to him. She's not completely over him, and who can expect her to be completely over him at this point? How long has it been since they've been married or got a divorce? Does anybody know how long that it's been? Keith was a physical person, and she wasn't. He might connect through sex, and she doesn't. What I think, I see that, and I agree. And you say they're just not compatible. I can agree with that too. But if Iris would have opened her mouth and told him some things that could make her more comfortable, possibly the physicality could have progressed. You know what I'm saying? Like if she would have told him what she needed, and he would have provided that, she in turn possibly would have been open to give him what he needed. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I feel with that. I feel like there's like a give and take in relationships, and a compromise, and you know, all that. So I feel like it's a possibility they could have tried a little bit harder. I'm not putting it all on Keith. I'm saying, like you said, closed mouths don't get fed. I feel like Iris should have opened her mouth and told him exactly what she needed. I feel like Keith, you know, for the most part, kind of put it out there, but he could have, you know, really asked her um they should have had more in-depth conversations with each other to get to know each other, and maybe the experts could have helped the person. I need to get to know your mind first before anything else can be talked about, you know. That's just what I think. She gave a massage, but they didn't show it on TV. Yeah, I do remember her saying that. So I do feel like the show was framing Iris to be a rigid. Is it still frozen? I don't know if you hear that thunder, but it's like thunderstorming outside. I'm back. Okay. It's good. All right. Um basically, you didn't miss much, Danielle. I was just talking about the whole Keith and Iris relationship. Oh yeah, I feel like they were framing Iris to be this rigid version, and they were showing certain things to frame her in that way, and one of those ways was not showing her actually participating in the in that activity and actually giving him a massage, which is something that would have, you know, at least like made it seem like, okay, well, at least she's trying. So they were framing her definitely in a particular way, and I feel like um that's something I don't like about Married at First Sight. Like when that show first came on, I feel like it was way more honest, way more real, way more raw, and it was more of like it was more of like a documentary style show, and so now it's like they're trying to get as much drama as possible, and you could tell that through the edits, you could tell that through the background music, the when it's like a simple conversation. It's not even an argument, you know what I'm saying? Like, just show us what it actually is instead of trying to paint one person one way and another person another way, you know what I'm saying? That's what I don't like about the editing, because I do feel like it was a little lopsided. It wasn't fair. um I agree, she should have spoken up. I'm not sure she has had many relationships. That's true too. She wasn't really experienced. This isn't Twilight. There's no mind readers. You're right. You're right. You're right. You know, TV is desperate for ratings these days. You're right about that as well. But I don't know. I don't like that, because it had me thinking one way about Iris, and it was just an unfair way to view her. I definitely agree. It was more real in the beginning. Season 1 was good. Season 1 was so good. The way Jamie did her husband was so bad. It was so trifling. Like, I was so over it. And by the way, if you're in here, please leave a like real quick. We're about to get into the whole Jamie and Elizabeth tea. Now, this tea, because I feel like it's not real tea, but I got from MAFS fan on Instagram, and that's where I get pretty much everything that I learn outside of the show. Y'all keep me up to date. Like, if y'all find out things, send it to me, tweet me, Instagram me, whatever, tag me, because I don't know what be going on. Like, I literally, the page just came back, and that's when I started seeing things, because I just don't even know where to look. So let's just get into it. MAF fan is good, but I haven't checked them out since the show ended. Like, I followed them on my fake page, and so I saw them pop back up, and this is the first thing I saw them pop back up with. And hold on, my Hulu keep going off. Okay, so if you go to their page, you can see this for yourself. One day I'm gonna learn how to like put things on the screen, but until then I'm just gonna have to do it this way. But so on MAFS, some details on the Beth and Jamie situation. Now, in case you didn't know, or didn't watch the reunion, which I'm sure if you're watching this you most likely have, Beth and Jamie moved to California together. from Charlotte. They moved to California together, and most of us thought this was a terrible idea, seeing as most of us did not want Jamie and Elizabeth to stay together in the first place because of all the drama. Like, they had knockdown, drag out fights, and it was just like really irritating to watch. But honestly, I'm surprised by the reaction I'm having to this, because I thought, you know, I was wrong. But let's see. They are indeed split up. So apparently there's been rumors that they split up, but the rumors are true. They did split up. Beth is back in North Carolina. They planned to have Thanksgiving in Tahoe together, but things fell apart. If they divorce before February, the show will pay for it. And Jamie says he will give an update in the next few days. And y'all, like, I'm kind of upset. Like, for them to have lasted as long as they did, they way past my expectations, because I really thought they were like gonna be broken up right after the reunion. Like, I really just didn't think they would last as long as they have. And they moved to California together, and I was thinking, well, maybe, you know, a new scenery, a new you know, scenery where they can experience and grow together. You know, maybe that change of scenery would have helped. um but now that I say all of this out loud, it's just bringing back all the memories of just their arguments and fights, and just different things I feel like individually they need to work through first before they can get together and actually be cohesive as a couple. Elizabeth had a lot of outbursts, and she really, she's one of those people that doesn't hold back, says whatever's on her mind. It doesn't matter who's around, she's gonna do that. Jamie is one of those people that he's gonna do the same thing basically, but behind the scenes. He cares, you know, unless she embarrasses him in public and he retaliates, he's gonna save all that for behind the scenes. Was gone, and he calls you next Tuesday. And so their relationship as a whole was just toxic, and I think that's the reason why most of us did not want to see them together. It's not because we wanted a married couple not to make it. It's because it was just toxic. They just didn't seem to be good for each other, and they seemed to need individual help before they could be together. And so, like, while I'm reading this and I'm sad, I'm just thinking, well, maybe they can finally, like, get the help that they need individually, or maybe they can, this break will help. um but from reading this list of things that happened, one of them that stuck out to me was, if they divorce before February, the show will pay for it. So it's like, well, if y'all know for a fact y'all ain't gonna stay together, you might as well go ahead and get this divorce before February, because why waste your own money? um I don't know. Like, what do y'all think? How do y'all feel about it? Like, how do y'all feel about the fact that they did last as long as they did, but now they're separated? Jamie and Elizabeth were too much. I'm not sure why they were matched. One thing that stuck out to me about Elizabeth and Jamie is that, you remember on their honeymoon and they were talking about having kids, and they both lied to the experts about wanting kids, but both of them were like, nah, but for real though, I don't want no kids. I feel like in that same way, if they were gonna lie about that, who knows what else they lied about? You know what I'm saying? So they might have they might have gotten matched, but it might have been based off of lies. You know what I'm saying? Um, Maybe the experts need to be a little bit more thorough with the people that they choose, because both of them were very hostile, volatile, combative, way more than the other couples, way more than the other couples. And I would go as far as to say they've probably been one of the most volatile couples that's ever been on this show. Like, it's been beyond toxic, both of them. So a part of me feels like during this process they weren't all honest, because who wants to tell all their dirty laundry? You think you're not gonna be picked, you know? Oh, that's a good possibility that it was matched online. So experts should maybe talk to people's exes, find out why their relationships did not last. That's actually a very good idea. If they don't already do that, they should. Hey, I'm surprised they lasted this long. They both need individual counseling. That's exactly how I feel about it. Danielle N said, I'm not surprised. I'm not either. Like, not surprised. Like, who would be surprised? Yes, their matchup could have been based on lies. I agree with you on that. Like, that's what I honestly got angry whenever I saw that scene of them talking about, yeah, well, I just said I wanted kids because that's what you're supposed to say. And they both ended up lying about it. It's like, okay, but what if you would have got matched with somebody who desperately wanted kids? Because there have been women that came on this show and that was their main objective, is to have a child. And so if you were to get matched with someone who desperately wanted kids, that's trash of you to lie about it. You know? Because even if you say, no, I don't want kids, they could match you with someone who is on that same level, because there are a lot of people out there who don't want kids. I feel like that's becoming more and more common. So for you to lie, that didn't sit well with me. Thank God they got matched to each other and not someone else. But I mean, that very well still could have happened. Maybe they should go on another reality show, Marriage Boot Camp. You know what? I could really see them on a show like that. They would be they are reality gold. Cause I wouldn't watch it though, cause they were getting on my last nerves. Like, if I were not reviewing this show and talking about this show, I would have fast forwarded through all of their parts. Cause that's just what I do with, like, when I'm watching 90 Day Fiance and it's a couple that drains me, I'm going to fast forward because I just rather not go through it with you. Just watched it because, you know, how can I review something I didn't watch? But they got on my nerves just as bad. This whole situation between them, though, probably for the best. They were not interested to me after a while. Yeah, it's not interesting to constantly be bickering over nothing. Like, they didn't even have a solid reason to be arguing the way they were. You know, Jamie was disrespectful, but so was Elizabeth. They were just disrespectful in different ways. And so it was just like, I can't even be on nobody's side. What's the point? And that's why they were meant for one another, because they were both rotten for lying. I'm glad they got matched with each other and not somebody else who wasn't lying. I did the same watching them. Right, fast forward. Yeah, yeah, they were way too toxic. Like, who wants to sit there and watch a couple be toxic? It's annoying in person. It's annoying when it's your best friend. Like, when she constantly is going off on her man, they constantly keep going back and forth. Do they want to be together? Do they not want to be together? That is annoying in person. Why do I want to watch it as entertainment? So, I mean, I was a little bit, disappointed. Like, oh man, they couldn't work it out. But honestly, it's probably for the best. Those people were really, hurt in so many ways. Like, Jamie, I feel like Jamie has been burned in the past by women and is basically taking it out on Elizabeth. And I also heard that he was in a relationship, like a serious relationship, right before he signed up for this show. So he probably, Elizabeth was probably like a rebound for him. Like, and everybody knows you don't stay with the rebound for the most part. You just rebound with them and move on. But he married a rebound. Is what it sounds like. If what was said is true. and he was trying to be controlling. He really did treat Elizabeth like his child, the way he talked to her. But Elizabeth acted like a child. She acted like a spoiled brat, and you could tell by how her father how their relationship is that she was very spoiled. I mean, she didn't even keep up with when she needed to pay for a new tag for her car like her dad would keep up with it. What? So that just shows me she was really babied, and still probably is being babied to this day by her father. And I don't know what man can come in and will want to deal with that. And you know what? Watching Elizabeth really showed me like some of the worst aspects of my own personality. Spoiled to that degree, but there's in a lot of ways I am spoiled. In a lot of ways I do want things the way I want them, impatient, get angry really quick, all that. And it made me look at myself and check myself and want to do better, because I do want to be married one day, and I know who's gonna want to deal with that. I wouldn't want to deal with that. So it makes me want to work on myself. I wonder if other people on the show were surprised they broke up. I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. I think the only person people would be truly shocked that they broke up was if Deanna and Greg broke up. I think that's the only couple that people would just be like, clutches pearls, oh my goodness. Like, I think they're the only couple, because none of the other couples you could truly put your faith into. Keith and Iris they had a lot of cringy moments and a lot of miscommunications. A lot of people, I think a lot of people were kind of shocked that Keith didn't want to stay married, but could you truly be shocked after everything they went through? Be together. Matt didn't even want to be there while they were married in the moment. Yeah, so I don't think anybody would be shocked except if it was Deanna and Greg, because they were the perfect couple. I think not only do I think Jamie and Elizabeth were one of the most toxic couples on the show from this season, I think Deanna and Greg on the entirety of every season, I feel like Deanna and Greg were probably the best matched. Elizabeth's dad spoiled her like moms spoil their sons. He really set her up for failure in a relationship. Yes, I agree with that. hmm Matt found Matt her a needy hot mess. Matt found her a needy. She was needy, but and she stage 5 clinger. You know what? Amber does need to work on the clinginess and work on resolve whatever that is that makes her want to cling on that hard. I'm thinking it's mommy issues, possibly because her mom left her as a young child, and as a result she clings on hard to people. And in a way I can relate to that, because even though I'm not, but when I do, I'm an only child and I don't have sisters. So for me, when you know I get close friends, they're like sisters to me. And the same goes for like a relationship. Like I hold on really, really tight and get really invested. So I can't judge Amber too much. Keith was done after that juice situation. I agree. I do think he checked out after that. But I don't think he should have necessarily. Even though the situation was ridiculous, I don't think he should have checked out that early. That was very early. I wasn't shocked he didn't want to stay married, but he should have communicated his issues to Iris. He didn't tell her how he felt because he didn't want to try. Yeah, I feel like he didn't want to push her in any way, but I don't think that Iris is as delicate as he was treating her. I feel like she could take the harsh truth And I feel like she probably would have appreciated that much more than kind of tiptoeing around it. But like I said, I feel like Iris should have been upfront with him too. Like, if you need someone to be upfront, if you need somebody to be charming and romance you in this situation, she should have told him, because obviously he did not have the tools to know that. No matter if Iris was so-called mature, Keith was not ready for marriage. Yeah, and that's another, you're right, 1984 read. Keith himself said he was not ready to be married. And a part of me is like, well, Keith, did you know that coming into this situation? Did you know you were not ready to be married and you decided to do this anyway? Or did you just find that out in the situation? And so it just made me wonder, like, Keith, did you know you were not ready? Or did you just was like, well, it's time for me to have a wife? Were you trying to be on TV? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not judging her. Editing make her look crazy. In the kitchen scene going crazy, she looked like she was falling. Honestly, I don't think that was editing. I think Iris is the type of person that is very anal about her house. Very anal. I know people like Iris that you don't just go in her refrigerator. You don't just do whatever you want to do in her house. You follow those rules. It's her way or the highway when it comes to gas. And I even talked to my grandmother about it, and she was actually on Iris's side. So I was like, I thought she was taking it a step too far, but I also draw boundaries to what goes on in my house too. You know, so I don't know. I still think if you invite people over and y'all run out of stuff to drink, or they just want something to drink, what's wrong with going in the refrigerator? But it ain't my house. Iris also should have told Keith, because the audience wouldn't have judged her so hard. We didn't know that she had some issues with Keith. Exactly. I think what it was from the interview, and I'm getting this from the interview that she did, Keith and Iris decided, hey, very kinky girl, I decided that they were only gonna do certain things on camera. They weren't going to show everything on camera because they wanted to have a certain image. They were kids, so they didn't want to go out the way, you know, the way Elizabeth and Jamie, I mean, they would be all up in the bed with just sheets on. They didn't want to do all that. And a part of me is like, okay, I get where you're coming from with that. And I'm not saying you have to be all up in the bed with no clothes on. I'd much rather not see that. But what I'm saying is, be honest and put it all out there and be truthful, because I really think that had they done that, had they actually put it all out there, had they actually been 100% honest with each other on camera, off camera, tell him what you need, you tell her what you need, collaborate, make that happen, I feel like they possibly could still be married. But they were both holding back. Both of them were holding back. It was some juice. It can replay. Exactly. On the reunion, Keith clearly communicated physically and verbally that Iris wasn't it for him. I think she fell hard really fast. Well, you know, she hasn't really had much experience dating anybody, and I believe she truly fell in love with Keith, or at least fell in love with the idea of being married to him. I don't think that scene was editing. I think she is OCD, and I think that personality trait wouldn't have worked with Keith's laid-back personality. I don't know. I think some things that Iris did turn Keith off, and I think some things Keith didn't do made Iris, you know, not connect with him. Like, they were like really, really miscommunicating. Like, the highest level of miscommunication, and a lot of times they weren't communicating at all, because Iris said, you know, after some scenes they would go to bed and he would just go straight to bed, like they wouldn't talk at all. So it wasn't one person's fault, I'll just say that. I think it was on both, but I feel like I've talked that to death. I think the reason is because Keith and Iris is visually like a beautiful couple, and we wanted that to work based off of just how they looked in the beginning. Like, we wanted it to work, but like some of y'all said, maybe they just weren't compatible. But I just feel like they could have worked on it more. That's all I'm saying. Because if you would have, a lot of times people just don't take the time to actually work through the issues and communicate better. All right, y'all. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I didn't really plan on staying on here for too long because this is more like an impromptu thing that I just, I saw a little piece of information that I saw on that Married at First Sight fan page. So y'all go check out that fan page. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna be back for the next season. Starts in January, and yeah, wait to get back on it. It was fun this last season, so I can't imagine what it's gonna be next season. Hopefully, it's a good one. Hello, Lavita Rosa, love you. Much love to you. Much love to everyone. Hey, Scandalicious Love, welcome. Both of their fault. I definitely agree. They will be fine. Honestly, they will find someone. Yeah, I just don't want Iris to be bitter towards Keith and bitter towards this situation. That's the only thing, because it kind of seems that way a little bit. I don't want her to be bitter. Because she's a beautiful woman and she can find the man of her dreams. So it's possible. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna jump off of here. Shout out to y'all. Maybe I'll do another live next week. I'm about to watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. I don't know if y'all watched the show, but I love it. The second part of the reunion is on right now. Don't forget, I'm having a sale on LavitaRosaStyle.com. Use the code BLACK to get 20% off of orders $25 or more. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.